Of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
The Indians have come up with the tonic to tame Tiger bats. Strong starting pitching. First, it was Danny Salazar's 9th win of the season. Then a shutout by Carlos Carrasco, as the Tribe has pitched the Detroit Thumpers effectively inside to increase their lead in the AL Central to 5 games. Today, it's round 3 of Josh Tomlin versus Justin Verlander, as the Indians' right-hander vies for win number 9. Next on Sports Time Ohio. A look in at old Tiger Stadium, or what remains of the former home of the Detroit Tigers. And now we bring you inside Comerica Park here in Detroit, Michigan, where the Indians will try for a sweep of the Tigers for the 3rd time this year. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians ran their win streak to 8 games yesterday with a really convincing victory over Detroit, because Carrasco was dominant, but the offense jumped out to the early lead once again.
It's been the same MO, score early and turn it over to the pitching. And, here you go. Francisco Lindor, he had his first hit against the Tigers, his first home run. Yesterday, he gets his first multi-home run game against the Tigers. And then what do? Turn it over to Carlos Carrasco, and he had a 4-hit shutout. He was dominant yesterday, a great slider. He moved that fastball around, and when you can see how they have dominated the Tigers this year, outscoring them, in the first inning, turning it over to the pitcher, 51-17 when it comes to the runs. And look at the starters ERA, a 171 compared to an 8.53. That's very impressive for the Indians.
And now you've got Josh Tomlin, who's going today for Cleveland, looking for his 9th win of the season. He's only lost 1 time, and we know one thing with Josh Tomlin: he pitches so effectively and takes advantage of hitters' aggressiveness.
You call him the painter. He stays on the outside edges, and he changes speeds, and he keeps hitters off balance. This will be round 3 for these two guys. Tomlin has beaten Verlander twice. You can see this year he's got a 2.13 ERA. He's 8-1 on the season, but Justin Verlander has been throwing the ball very well, even though he has been beaten by the Indians twice. His fastball is back. He can ride it upstairs in the strike zone. He's got a good slider. He also has a very good changeup. So we'll see what they have to offer. This should be a good matchup. The Tigers truly do want to beat the Indians, and the Indians are going to try and get out of here with their 3rd sweep this year.
Justin Verlander, in his last 9 starts, 8 times he's pitched at least 7 innings, so he's given the Tigers length, which is exactly what they're looking for here this afternoon. We'll be back with today's play-by-play coming up, but first, when we return, Alan Jensen will take it away from the studio. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. They've been able to pitch inside and effectively, and they have taken, maybe the strength of the Tigers lineup away from them, because what they do is they look away and they pound the baseball to right field, those right-handed hitters. And by keeping them honest, by pitching them inside, they can't just look away. They've got to now look at both sides of the plate, and that just opens things up for the Indians pitching staff, and they have been effective. And speaking of effective, let's go downstairs to our man Andre Knott, who's finally, he's gone to some headgear.
I haven't got the right flap. I can't get away from him, so I figure I put the flap that way. Things will work out better for me.
Good thinking.
I took till Sunday, but I figured it out. Reliever for the Tigers, Kyle Ryan, said on Thursday night going into this series, we're hot right now. We're going to stay hot this weekend, talking about this series versus the Indians. Well, we all know how the first two games have turned out for the Tigers. They haven't won. You got to worry and wonder about the psyche of the Tigers right now, because they can't beat the Indians for whatever reason. Jason Kipnis left yesterday's game early in the 8th inning. It was a little bit of an illness, a little bit of tightening up. He is fine. He's out of the lineup today. He can come in and play. I just talked to him. He said he's good to go. Terry Francona wanted to give him the day off anyway, so he figured this would be a good day to give him off as we're dealing with the heat and people throwing stuff at me. But he's all good to go. There are no concerns or no worries, guys.
Oh, that helmet, huh? That's a key. That's a game changer.
Yes, it is.
That is a game changer. Well, Justin Verlander with the high socks on the hill for Detroit, warming up. Let's look at the lineup he'll face for Terry Francona and the Indians, brought to you by Progressive. Carlos Santana in the leadoff spot. That man, Michael Martinez, will bat second. Francisco Lindor hitting third. Then it's Mike Napoli. Jose Ramirez fifth. Lonnie Chisenhall will bat sixth. Yan Gomes, who homered yesterday, will bat seventh. Juan Uribe eighth. And Tyler Naquin, coming off a 2-hit day, will bat ninth.
And our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher, Justin Verlander, making his 16th start this year. And he is 7-5. And the Indians have beaten him twice. But since the last loss to Cleveland on May 3rd, he has a record of 5-2, and he's been pitching very well. 8 out of his last 9 starts, he's gone at least 7 innings. The only start he didn't go 7, he went 6 2/3. So he's been out there. He's been very effective, coming off a win against Seattle in his last start, where he went 7 innings, 6 hits, and 2 runs. But the Indians have dealt him more losses than any other team. He is 18-20 in his career against the Tribe. Let's set the defense behind Verlander today. It looks like this: Upton in left, Maben in center, Aviles over in right, Castellanos at third, Iglesias is at short, Kinsler at second, Cabrera at first. Saltalamacchia gets the start behind the plate today.
Jim Reynolds has the plate. Manny Gonzalez at first, C.B. Buckner at second, the crew chief, Field and Culbreth down at third. And we are ready to go. Big crowd once again here in Detroit for the series finale. And Justin Brooks Verlander, Virginia native, ready to go. Carlos Santana steps in, and we are underway.
Well, the first time he was inserted into the leadoff spot in the very first at-bat, takes him deep on a 3-2 pitch to give the Indians a 1-0 lead.
Down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Change up, and he pops it up. Long run for the center fielder, Maben, but he's able to cover a lot of ground and make the catch, 1 away. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Foot on the gas. The Indians trying to run their win streak to 9 in a row, and they're also trying to beat Detroit for the 9th straight time. They did have an 8-game winning streak against the Tigers about 8 years ago, because I think it was over the 08 and 09 seasons. Before that, you go back to 1996, when Buddy Bell had left the bench coach job in Cleveland with Mike Hargrove to take over the managerial post here in Detroit. And in 1996, the Indians just beat the daylights out of them.
They swept them,
Swept
didn't
them 12 straight, and then beat them the first game of the 97 season, to make it 13 in a row. No, one of the Tiger players was saying after the game yesterday, man, they beat us 8 straight. I think it was Anibal Sanchez. I don't think that's ever happened.
Well, it's tough to do when you play in your division. You know, teams that match up real well, and it's hard to believe.
Swing and a miss by Michael Martinez, and the count 1-2. Yeah, there are no secrets when you play in the division. Everybody knows all your strengths, all your weaknesses.
But when you look at the numbers, you'll know why. Because they've totally outscored them and they've totally outpitched them.
Martinez pops one up. Foul territory. Castellanos, he has room and makes the play. 2 down. Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Francisco Lindor, his first hit against the Tigers, his first homer against the Tigers, first multi-homer game against the Tigers. He said, I don't think I even did that in the minor leagues ever. I think it might be the first time I've ever hit 2 home runs in a game.
Well, it's incredible. When you put good swings on the baseball, you don't worry about it. He has enough power. He can hit his home runs. He has 10 on the year, hitting his 2 yesterday.
And he said after the game, we didn't even need my home run. The way Carrasco pitched yesterday, Santana's home run was all we needed. Missed outside, 1-1. Verlander with a 1-1, and that's up high. Two-one pitch, line to left. Upton came in. He's able to recover and make the play. Indians go 1-2-3. The Tigers are coming to bat. Today looks like this: Ian Kinsler, Cameron Maben, and Miguel Cabrera at the top. Then it's Victor Martinez, Nick Castellanos, and Justin Upton. Think about this for a minute. Cabrera Martinez, Castellanos, and Upton have combined in the series for 3 hits. Wow, that's how you knock the stuffing out of that lineup.
Well, our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher is going to be Josh Tomlin, making his 14th start. He has beaten the Tigers twice this year, once in this ballpark, but in his career, he'll be making his 6th start here, and he is 2-3 in his career. So Josh has been very good. In his last 3 starts, he has no decisions. He's been great in the month of June in 4 starts, 26 2/3 innings, only 1 walk, 16 strikeouts.
Ian Kinsler fouls the first pitch right back. Kinsler, an aggressive hitter. He'll go up looking for that first pitch in an at bat.
Yeah, he's 8 for 20 in his career against Tomlin. That's the 3rd best average against him among opponents with at least 20 at bats.
Cutter off the outside corner. Lifted foul, and that's going to find the seats down the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kansas City got pounded yesterday by Houston again, so the Indians begin play today with a 5-game lead in the AL Central. And Kinsler rockets one to right. Caught by Chisenhall. 1 down.
Let's set the Indians defense for you. Brought to you by Jeep. It'll be Martinez in left field. Naquin is in center. Chisenhall just made the play in right. Uribe at third. Lindor at short. Ramirez at second. Santana at first with Gomes doing the catching.
Everybody in the Central right now, other than the Indians, scuffling at the moment. Tribes won 8 in a row. Kansas City in second place, 5 games back. They've lost 4 straight. Detroit now has lost 2 in a row after dropping the first 2 in this series. White Sox lost yesterday. Twins have lost 3 in a row.
Doubled up going back inside there. He's watched Maben go the other way a lot in this series.
Just missed outside, 2-1. And again, he stayed in on him. Lindor throws him out 2 away.
Josh Tomlin on the road this year is at 4-0 and a fine .263 earned run average. He's had in his last 7 decisions on the road, he is 7-0 in 10 starts. And Josh will try to use the middle part of the field and let Naquin in center run some stuff down.
Fouled right back. A hazy day in Detroit this afternoon. Our game time temperature 85 degrees, but with the humidity feels like it's over 90. And Miguel Cabrera down on the count 0-2.
Cabrera really made an adjustment in his last at bat. Take a look at a good curveball. Yesterday, staying inside the ball, they've been making him pull the ball.
Ran that one in, but just off the plate.
He's been seeing a lot of pitches in there throughout the course of this series. Been rolling over and topping them at third base, but that last at bat really went inside out for a base hit. And it looked like the same on his first swing.
1-2 fastball up. He tried to get him to go. He did not offer at it. And it's 2-2. Cabrera often serves as his own home plate umpire. Checking with the first base umpire to appeal. That is deep, but it is foul. Not deep enough. It would not have been a home run. Count stays 2-2.
Well, there's the pitch he loves, and he was just a little tardy on it, and it sliced it down that way.
Big curveball, and this time Cabrera waits back on it, serves it into left field, and it's the first hit of the game.
He got to strike 2 with him with that curveball, but Cabrera was waiting and kept his hands back nicely. This ball maybe had a little too much of the plate, but the good hitters, they find a way to get a base hit. So the first hit of the ball game. Cabrera has 2 straight hits now in this series.
And up comes Victor Martinez, who is 0 for 8 in the series. He's hit a few balls hard, but nothing to show for it to this point. And the Indians will employ the shift for Victor. Fly ball in right field. A lot of room out there for Chisenhall, and he'll make the catch. No runs ahead, a man left after an inning. No score in Detroit.
At Bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Second inning, and Mike Napoli to the plate. Napoli, line drive to left field, but right at Upton. One down. You've always made mention in the past that it's amazing, as good as Verlander is with the stuff he has, he's never really been a guy who's pitched inside.
No, that's true. I mean, the times I've watched him, and he started more games against the Indians than anybody. As dominant and powerful as he is, he doesn't really pitch a lot inside. He has great stuff and always has. But, you know, as far as knocking people down or hitting somebody when they worn him out, it just hasn't happened.
I wonder, and this is maybe a little bit out there, but I wonder if psychologically that goes way back to when he first started playing baseball. Verlander said when he was in the Little Leagues, he was throwing off a 45-foot mound, and he hit so many kids, he said they'd start crying when they were in the on-deck circle. He said, I hit one kid in his first 2 at-bats. He quit baseball and never played again.
Wow.
And you do wonder if maybe that's deep-seated in his psyche.
Very well could be. I know he made his first major league start against the Indians when they called him up from Erie in Double-A. But this guy's been a great pitcher for a long time.
Ground ball, weakly hit to third. Castellanos throws him out, 2 down. He's one of those guys, I think, that too is just, we talk about, gifts. His dad said when he was 9 years old, they lived by a pond. He goes, I picked up a rock, I chucked it about halfway across the pond. At 9 years old, Verlander picked up the rock. Justin threw it all the way across the pond.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He was born to pitch. There's no question about it.
And he's logged a ton of innings already.
He's a guy, I think, that came up. I don't think he's ever had the get hitters out on 3 pitches or less mentality.
No.
And when he first came up, he was throwing so hard, he got a lot of swings and misses. He'd rather strike you out than get you out. You know what I'm saying?
You think back early in his career.
I mean, this guy,
he was throwing mid-90s, and then he'd hit 100 miles an hour late in the game.
Yeah, I'm saying he could, after 100 pitches, he can get up to 97, 98, and always would. But there's a lot of times we faced him. He was at the 100 pitch mark in the 5th inning, 5th or 6th inning, and it seems like, man, you got to save some of those bullets.
Out of play. Look at that. Over 2,200 innings pitched in his 12 seasons.
2,000 strikeouts.
And that doesn't include the playoffs.
Right. That doesn't include postseason. There's a lot of pitches between the walks and the strikeouts.
Monty Chisnall with a liner to center field, and that will drop for the Indians' first hit of the game.
He's been using his high fastball more to get guys out when he gets to 2 strikes. Chisenhall gets enough of this one to get it in front and get a base knock to center field.
Let's go down to Andre.
Well, you talk about that high fastball for Verlander. It's a way to change the eyesight. He's not throwing as hard as you guys are talking about. But by using that high fastball, it still looks as hard as some of these hitters, and he still has that curveball. So he's still effective, just he's changed the way he's pitched a little bit this year, and it's been effective for him.
Yeah, when you get to 2 strikes, hitters don't swing at the high fast. They swing at it. Don't misunderstand, but I'm saying it may not get called for a strike, but they'll swing at it, and it's tough to catch up to it. So you just change their eye level, and you'll get a lot of swings and misses up there. Chisenhall just got down on the trademark, and he got it in front of him. Verlander came into today with 100 innings under his belt this year already.
And 102 strikeouts.
Yeah.
At 33 years of age, he has 3 more years left on his contract with a vesting option for the 2020 campaign. He would be 37 years old if that vesting option were to kick in at the end of the deal. Yan Gomes with a 2-0 count. Got a pitch to hit, but fouled it back. Might have been just away.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a 2-0 count. I like the swing. He put a good swing on it. Very aggressive. And I looked in that dugout, and those were guys in there clapping, saying, way to go. Because they're, Gomes has been struggling a little bit. They want to see him get going, because if they can get this bat going a little bit, they'll be in good shape.
Well, he's a guy that has good numbers against Justin. He's 9 for 29 against the Tiger right-hander. Out of play to the right. So from 2-0 to 2-2. Chisenhall held at first by Cabrera, draws a throw, but he's back standing. Chased the high fastball and strikes him out. First K for Verlander. Indians get their first hit. Middle of the second, no score. Time Ohio, it includes your first drink. So get your friends and catch the game from the corner or the new drink rails and left. District tickets available only online at Indians.com/district ticket. Nick Castellanos will lead off the home half of the second for Detroit. He pops one sky high, right side, foul territory. Santana's there, and he makes the catch. And on one pitch, Castellanos is retired. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Indians team pitching ranks in the American League. They're first in ERA, they're first in shutouts, first in complete games. Is this getting redundant? First in opponent's batting average, first in starter ERA.
Well, they have been on some kind of roll, and you know, you look at it every day, you look out there and you say, oh well, he's starting, got a chance to win today.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how they feel, and I'm guaranteed that's how the team feels.
Well, Rick, I just think sometimes, and I know you can appreciate this, for us, when we're calling the games every day, you see the starting pitching, you know it's good, but you also tend to nitpick a little bit. I think other teams, when we play other teams, their broadcasters and their guys, they come up to us and say, my goodness, your pitching's unbelievable. So sometimes I think we don't fully appreciate how good these guys are.
Well, for my opinion, it's the best starting five in this league, in the American League. I can't say anything because we haven't seen really the National League, but I'll tell you, there's none better than I've seen. All five of them.
Yeah. I would think, at least top to bottom, the Mets would be the only team that I think could really rival it.
Yeah,
in
if
the
they're
National
healthy.
League.
the Cubbies are also pretty good too with their 5.
The 2-2.
Ooh,
That is
inside
a perfect
cutter.
pitch.
Inside cutter, baby. Started it in off the plate and let it come back, and he gets the called strikeout, his first today.
Tomlin gets his first strikeout on the Circle K punch out.
Watch this right there, inside corner, beautifully. Well done. See, that's one where the right-handers think he's trying to throw that fastball inside to get me off the plate, and then it has a little movement to come back and catch the corner, and Tomlin can control it.
Up comes Jared Saltalamacchia. High pop to right. Lonnie Chisenhall is there. He's waving off Ramirez and makes the grab, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. 2 complete in the Motor City. No score. We go down to the 3rd. And Juan Uribe will lead off for Cleveland. A little bit outside, ball 1. Uribe 0 for 3 in the series opener with a run scored. And he lifts this one high in the air. Left center field, Upton calling for it. 1 down. Injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Alex Gordon, after that fractured right wrist injury, activated from the disabled list, so the Royals welcome him back. And what does he do? 2 for 5 with a home run and a double.
Yeah, he had a 2-0 count and hit a homer for him yesterday, so I'm sure they're glad to have him back in the lineup.
There's Tyler Naquin. Yesterday, Naquin blooped a double down the left field line, then roped a triple to right center.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Tyler's going to have to try and lay off with Verlander out there, is the high fastball. He's such a good low ball hitter. Make him try to bring it down to you.
Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes.
That changes the eye level right now. He sees that curveball starting out about the same place that fastball is going to start out. I think he'll throw right here.
Now the 0-2. This time he lays off. And he strikes him out with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, his second strikeout today. 2 down, first time through the order. The Indians went 1 for 9 against Verlander.
Well, pregame in the district, thanks to Budweiser on the 4th of July. The Tribe will take on these Tigers. They'll be coming back to town when we return home from 5 to 7 in the right field district. You can enjoy $2 Budweiser cans, plus 15,000 fans will receive a replica batting practice pullover. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
Now Carlos Santana flied to center, his only time up, pops this one out of play to the left.
Santana had the hook swing in his first at bat.
And I think it was a changeup too.
It was, yeah. He tried to hook it. I think he might have had visions of what we showed you on the replay from his first at bat.
Yes, sir. Not happy with himself there, and it's 0-2. Indians will head down to Atlanta, start an interleague series tomorrow. The Tigers are off tomorrow, then they'll host the Miami Marlins in interleague play Tuesday night. Spun him out of there with a pitch that got away, 1-2. Out of play. Verlander's thrown 36 pitches, 25 of those 4 strikes. To this point, he definitely looks like the guy who's been pitching well over his last 9 starts. And as Rick told you, the last time he had a clunker was when the Indians hammered him back on May the 3rd. Since then, he's been very good.
Yeah, he sure has. That was a start in Cleveland where he came out in the first 4 innings and pitched with sleeves on. If you remember,
Yeah.
he went in and changed his sleeves, and then Lindor hit a 3-run homer off him in the 5th.
2-2 low, full count. Michael Martinez would be next. This is just one of those lazy, hazy summer days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be in slow motion except the 2 guys pitching.
Yeah, the guys pitching, they're rolling.
Tied him up, struck him out. Indians go in order. Middle of the 3rd. Still no score in Detroit. of the third here in Detroit. Mike Aviles going to lead it off for the Tigers. He was 0 for 3 yesterday.
Well, this is a guy I don't know if you want to fake bunt on because you know he throws strikes.
Out of play to the right.
Boy, now you look up and you're down 0-2.
(0-2) and a little bit low and away. Aviles yanks one deep to left, down the line and gone. Mike Aviles on a 1-2 pitch takes Josh Tomlin deep and gives Detroit a 1-0 lead.
Aviles, his first homer of the year. The 16th given up by Tomlin. He tried to sneak it inside, and I don't know if he got it in there enough, because Aviles pulled the hands in pretty well. He went away with a cutter, and there you'll see it on the inner part of the plate, but he was quick enough to get the hands and the head through and hits the home run. So the Tigers will play from in front.
Out of play right side. On the year, the Indians are just 11 and 23 when the opponent scores first.
Iglesias going for a new bat. Looked down at the handle, must have had a little crack in there.
Almost chased after it, but held up.
Yeah.
That time he went around. Yeah, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he went.
Jim Reynolds ringing him up, 1 down. Our great clip of the game from yesterday. Who else but Carlos Carrasco?
Yeah, you talk to people, boy. He had explosive stuff yesterday. 2-seamer, good fastball. He nice slider, changeup. He was in total command. 4 hits. Dominating yesterday.
Now the Indians now with 5 complete games. That's second most in the majors, behind only San Francisco. And 6 team shutouts. That leads the American League, trailing only the Dodgers and the Phillies, who have 8 in Major League Baseball. Liner caught by Jose Ramirez, and there are 2 away. Redbird tells me this is the first time this year that Tigers have even had a lead against the Indians.
Game number 9. Wow. You know, you think about it and you go back, because we played the end of April and early May in Cleveland. So
well, and the one thing that you take away from most of those games, Indians scored first.
Yeah.
What, 13-0 in the first
Right.
inning? They've outscored them this year. So
Right.
they were able to score early. With 2 down, Cameron Maben pops one up right side. That's going to find the seats.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. With the offense that the Tigers have, and as powerful as they can be, and we have seen in the past, that's taken them 9 games to get a lead on the Indians.
A one-hopper to second base, and Ramirez will throw him out. Mike Aviles, the former Indian, on a 1-2 pitch, goes yard, and Detroit has a 1-0 lead.
For kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets located in the family deck at Progressive Field, home to the expanded kids clubhouse, and they are only available at Indians.com/kids tickets.
The Tigers have handed Justin Verlander a 1-0 lead. See if the Indians can respond here. Second time through the order. Michael Martinez fouled out his first time up, takes a strike. Jeremy Bonderman, who pitched through some of the very lean years here in Detroit, was a teammate of Verlander's when Justin first came up. And Bonderman once said of Verlander, Justin doesn't care what anybody thinks about him. He said, I'll say it, he's really cocky, but he's cocky all the time, whether he's pitching great or whether he's struggling. He's not going to change just to please other people. There's something to be said for that. Whether you like him or hate him, he's consistent.
Well, that's what #1 starters do. They've got that self-confidence. There's no question about it.
Bonderman went on to say that he really believed, as a young player, that Verlander, he's driven to be great. Not just good, not just okay. Yeah. He wants to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he wants to be the best.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I'll tell you what, that pitch that Martinez just laid off of there, that's a nice pitch, and it's one he threw to Santana. Hard-biting slider down and in. It's not a strike. So you're going to have to lay off of that pitch, but it's got nice bite to it, and it's a swing and miss pitch.
Well, a good at bat here for Michael Martinez. Works the count full. Indians only have one base runner. That was Chisenhall, who had the 2-out single in the second. And he draws a walk. The Indians have their leadoff man aboard. T-Mobile, greater coverage of baseball. Jose Altuve, what a night he had against the Royals. He had the homer, he had 2 doubles, he had 3 runs batted in, but one of those doubles could have very well been a triple, which would have given him a cycle. but it didn't happen. We're going to show you what happened if you missed it.
Had a chance. Yeah, we'll show you. He had a chance for the triple and ended up tripping around second base and going to the ground. And couldn't make third. I think he would have had it easily because that triple was in the left center field gap in Kansas City. And we know how big the alleys are out there.
Close play. Verlander's got such quick feet.
Yeah, he's very quick for a tall pitcher.
I don't know how that's not a balk sometimes.
Well, you know why? Because he's coming up and he just turns and flips. Once he comes set, he doesn't throw over a lot. It's always when he's, getting up into the stretch. That's when he's quick to first. When he comes set like that, rarely do you see him throw over.
Lindor fouls it right back. He hit the ball hard his first time up, but he lined it to left, and Justin Upton initially broke in on the ball. He had to recover, and he was able to get back and make the catch. As you said, sometimes a left fielder isn't convinced that a left-handed hitter is going to drive it over his head out there. Occasionally they do.
Well, when you've got a guy that throws hard like a Verlander, that's when they can do it to you. And this is such a spacious park, you're probably better off playing a couple steps back than you are coming in.
Ground ball single into right field. Martinez hits second. He's going to turn and burn, and he will make it to third base. And the Indians have runners at the corners with nobody out.
Boy, done to perfection by Lindor because he got the right pitch to try and pull it in the hole. A breaking ball from Verlander. And that's an easy call when you're the base runner at first. When you can go and you know it's not hit all that hard, but it's behind you, you've got to be standing on third, and he was. Aviles comes up with it, so now the Indians with something brewing here. First and third and nobody out.
And trying to come right back and respond after the Tigers
love that.
Got the lead in the bottom of the third with the solo home run. Here's Mike Napoli. He jumped on the first pitch and lined it to left his first time up.
I don't think he'll get as good as a pitch in this at bat.
Dotted the outside corner with a good fastball.
But Verlander, if you're the pitcher and your team gets a run, you don't want to walk the leadoff man coming up, and you're going through the middle part of the lineup. But he walked Martinez, the first walk today for him.
In the dirt, gets away. Martinez got a good break. He's coming home. He will score. We are tied at 1, and Lindor moves into scoring position on the play.
Heads up play right there by Michael. He made a decision. He had one split second. And this is going to be our AT&T high-speed replay. In the dirt, he finally picks it up, and he's coming home, and then the grip, and you have to throw it quickly. So Lindor quickly went to second base, and then in comes Martinez. Good heads up base running, and they tie the game up quickly on the wild pitch.
He read it well and never hesitated.
Right.
That was the key there. You're right. Well, Napoli still has a runner in scoring position now after Lindor moved up on the play. And that's down low. 2-1.
For Verlander, that is his 6th wild pitch, and that's at an ill-advised time.
Now they're not quite sure. Verlander might not be sure of the sequence they're working off of, so he wants to double check.
Curious to see how many times Saltalamacchia has caught him in the recent starts for Verlander, because he's been on a roll and it looks like they're not on the same page. McCann has usually been the guy out there. Of course, Saltalamacchia got a lot of playing time when McCann was hurt and on the disabled list.
1-1 now here in the 4th inning with nobody out. And Napoli takes that pitch inside. 3 balls and a strike. Jose Ramirez waiting on deck.
I'm told that McCann has caught his last 5 starts.
Okay.
So that has something to do with it. That's why when you get runners in scoring position, you know, the signs they give and the sequences, and it makes a difference.
Low, ball 4. He's walked 2 in the inning now. Let's go back to that Jose Altuve. Here's the ball. He's going. He needs the triple for the cycle. It's in the gap.
Yeah, and he tripped, but you don't realize that helmet hit him in the back of the foot here. There it was, and it sort of messed him up, his strides. The little man fell down. He's laughing. Look at Springer on the bench. Can you believe it? He said he had the cycle right there for him.
Well, you know what's funny about that is, I don't know if it was in Houston. It might have. I don't remember where it was at, but remember Jose Ramirez was running around the bag.
It was in Houston,
and it fell off his head, hit his foot, flipped up
base.
He went into second base,
and
almost
it hit him
exactly like that.
Came back and hit him on the butt. It sure did.
Now here is Jose. Try to deliver now. Man, that pitch almost to the backstop.
Whoa. That was certainly, here you go.
Oh,
Boy,
Bardo's on it.
Oh, he's on it. Watch the helmet. Kick, and come up. Watch this. Boom, right on top of the head.
The only difference there is he was diving into the bag, not trying to go for a triple.
Right. And we saw first where Jose hit a triple the other night, and the helmet
stayed on.
Yeah, it did. He swung.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ramirez, who's been truly a pleasant surprise with how well he has swung the bat this year. But with runners in scoring position, he's been ridiculous, hitting .378. Foul back.
Right now, Verlander's looking for that first out. They're trying to minimize a little damage in this inning that he helped create most of it.
Shoots that one toward left near the line, but slicing foul.
Boy, that was that slider down and in, and he tried to take it the other way. Now he's calling out Saltalamacchia to talk to him. That was a pretty good swing at that pitch. That's one I feel you have to lay off, but he left that one middle of the plate. That one went straight down. It didn't come down and in. He didn't get on top of it as much.
It seems like a pitch you'd want to pull more than push.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When it's down and in, if you want to hit it, you got to get out front to hit it. He made a mistake with the location on that one. That's what enabled Ramirez to go the other way with it. That's the one you want.
Lays off that time.
See, that's the pitch I was looking for. That's the slider that's a ball. That, boy, it's tough for left-handers to lay off of it. If you can, with 2 strikes, that's a great job. Good take right there.
Remember earlier in the count, he swung at that pitch. He tried to hold up, but he went around.
That's his fault, man. You show it to him early, then they know they may try and put you away with it. And he had a look at it.
That fastball was up, but you could tell Ramirez just kind of feeling for it to spoil it.
Well, that's what they do. They do a nice job of just staying alive. And, you know, he gets a little frustrated. They lay off that pitch. You foul off a pitch away. And now it makes him try a little bit harder.
Making him work. Pitch count rising up to almost 60 now here in this 4th inning. Nobody out. First 3 have all reached safely. Ramirez trying to keep the heat on. Pop
Beautiful at bat. Boy, he is making them work.
I feel like because he's still got 1 pitch, so to waste it, he's going to go back down and in with that slider again.
Well, you would think so, but he already walked 2 guys in the inning. He doesn't want to walk anymore, and I don't think he wants to go to 3 and 2. I mean, he may, but I don't think he wants to. What a good. He may have to because Ramirez is making him work.
He's spoiling everything.
He sure is.
Francisco Lindor is at second base. Mike Napoli down at first.
There you'll see a lot of pitches up in the strike zone. This will be pitch number 9 to Ramirez.
And he hammers that one to right field. It will be caught though by Mike Aviles. And
Good at bat. That's a good at bat. I'll tell you what, he battled him right there. Hit a line drive and it was right into the tracks of Aviles. So a good at bat.
Even though he's frustrated, he gets lots of high fives.
Well, they're down there. That's right. He made him work to get his first out. Get a pat on the back. Although it doesn't make you feel any better because you want to end up with a hit.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall. Lonnie lined a single to center with 2 outs in the second inning. Sometimes we have seen a lengthy at bat. The guy that has the long at bat may not benefit, but somebody that right soon thereafter might benefit.
That's true. That is true. You can see he's been out in true style the first 3 innings, but boy, that 9-pitch at bat helped. 23 to this point in this inning.
Lonnie Chisenhall, base hit into right field, coming around third. Lindor with a go-ahead run. Aviles, his throw way offline. Indians take the lead, and now the ball gets away. Napoli is still at third. Chisenhall's going to run right into him. Oh, no.
Oh, man, he ran into an out.
My goodness. He never saw Napoli ahead of him.
He's
got 2 down.
You got to keep your eye on the guy in front of you. He gets the base hit. They settle Lindor, and you know what? I don't think Napoli realized the ball got away from Salto Lamacchia. And then by the time you try and restart him, which Mike Sarbaugh did, Chisenhall was running with his head down. That's his fault. Here comes the throw. It gets underneath, and now they wanted to restart him. He started but stopped. Chisenhall never looked. He just kept running. He comes into your picture until he sees where Napoli is at.
I mean, he never saw him because he was already at third base. Look how far he was before he realized Mike was standing on the bag.
You've got to find out the guy in front of you. There's always somebody in front of you. You got to look. Watch. He sees the ball back there, but he's not looking at third base. So they catch a break, although they take the lead. Lindor scores. He forces Napoli out. Or excuse me, Napoli was on third. He forced himself out by getting tagged out going back to second.
Yeah, that put out is officially scored as just 2-6 on the put out. He had second base on the throw home.
Right.
And then just kept on running, unfortunately. But he does give the Indians a 2-1 lead. And now we'll see if Yan Gomes can deliver a 2-out RBI hit and really make it hurt.
Well, they come right back and they take the lead. See if Gomes can get a 2-out base hit and pick this one up.
Upstairs, 1-2. Well, he's back to even now, 2-2. strikes him out to end the inning. But the Indians come back. They respond with 2 in the 4th that take the lead. The 4th inning, and let's go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Well, when you talk about the dominance the Indians have had over the Tigers, you never want to make it about one player, right? But Miguel Cabrera had one unbelievable season last year versus the Indians, as he had 17 RBI in 17 games and hit .418. He had 7 extra base hits with 5 home runs. So far this year, he's hitting .192, just 5 of 26 versus the Indians, with 1 RBI that I think we're all still kind of debating if it was an RBI, right, guys?
That's true.
Think about that. No extra base hits this year so far for Cabrera. You don't want to whammy it, but I think that's made a huge difference in the games that these two teams have played so far this year.
No question. But you know what still scares me, Andre, is we have 10 more games with him. So, you know, you can always get hot. He's had base hits in his last 2 at-bats.
Well, you can't play scared, but you have to be smart. And I think that's what the Indians have done. They haven't walked him. They haven't pitched around him. They've just pitched him very intelligently.
They made an adjustment. Yeah. You know, now it's, as I said yesterday, it's up to him to make the adjustment back to the Indians pitching staff. But they're staying inside. They're going to try and make him pull the ball and use those hands. And that's something that, you know, you have to do. If you continue to pitch this guy away, he will kill you. And he can do it with power, too. He makes it look easy. And this is a guy, he's smart. He remembers how people pitch him. And he makes adjustments during the game and in at-bats. There you go. He stayed in there.
Juan Uribe can take his time and throws him out.
You know, he fouled that ball off before inside. He comes right back inside, says, I'm not giving you anything to shoot the other way. And he rolls over the top of it. That's, I think, 5 balls hit to third base now in this series by Cabrera. It is. It's 5 times he's been down to the third baseman in this series.
Victor Martinez, who fly to right his only time up on the first pitch that he saw. Hit well. Deep right field. Back is Lonnie Chisenhall, and it is gone. And we are tied at 2.
Okay, so back come the Tigers with 1 swing of the bat. Hit their second solo shot of the day. to tie it up. Victor popped up the first time and maybe opened up a little too quickly the first time, but he stayed closed here and got a fastball and hits it into the seats. For Martinez, his 13th home run of the year. And there he is. He can handle that inside part of the plate. And he gets enough of it. So we have a 2-2 ball game.
Foul back. Castellanos fouled out, his only time up. Pulls that one to third. It's fair. And a rebase throw will never get there. An infield single for Castellanos.
Well, he lunged to make that backhanded stab and didn't have anything left in his legs to make the throw, if you watch, and he had to get rid of it quickly. Sort of just that right foot stuck into the dirt. He couldn't get it out there and really plant. So he was throwing off a weak backside and couldn't get anything on the baseball. So it goes as an infield single.
And 1-on-1 out for Justin Upton. A little bit high, and it's 2-0. Took a healthy cut, fouling it back. Hit the right, but off the end of the bat, dropping. Oh, what a play by Ramirez. Turns, fires back to first,
Wow.
and Castellanos just did get back in time.
You talk about range right there. I'll tell you what, he had to go a long way and made a beautiful running catch. If not, that's going to be in for a single because you're playing Upton to pull. You watch where he started. He was close to second base, and on the dead run, he puts that glove out. Castellanos almost got doubled off because he had to make a decision there in a hurry, but Ramirez came out of nowhere to make that catch. Beautiful play.
Pitch is outside to Jared Saltalamacchia, who flied to right his only time up. Josh Tomlin has given up 2 runs, both on solo homers. Snap throw to first, and Santana knocked it down. Either that or it hit Castellanos.
Well, it was a tough throw for Gomes because Saltalamacchia, a big guy in the batter's box, and he has to try and get it around him. And it looked like it went off maybe the arm. Let's see. Yeah, it
handcuffed him.
Yeah, that was a tough throw for Santana to handle cleanly. They wouldn't have had him anyway.
Down low with it. 3-1. Now Saltalamacchia got off to a crazy fast start. Had 5 home runs in the first 12 games of the season.
Yeah. Well, I remember the last time we played him, he had 6 homers.
Yeah.
But was getting playing time because McCann was out on the disabled list. Once he came back, and didn't McCann come back? His first game was against us, I believe. He hasn't been getting the playing time he once was earlier in the year.
Runner goes at first on the payoff pitch. That's ball 4. So Tomlin will have to face Mike Aviles now, who took him deep on a 1-2 pitch his last time up.
Yeah, he didn't want to give in there to Saltalamacchia, and I think he'd rather come back. Aviles got him on a 1-2 pitch, which was a fastball. He didn't quite get it in enough and hit the solo home run, his first of the year. But I'm thinking Tomlin says, I'll take my chances with Aviles instead of Saltalamacchia.
Just a bit outside, ball 1. To center field, Naquin is there, and the inning is over. But another solo homer for Detroit puts the Tigers on into a tie with the Tribe, 2-2. Juan Uribe will lead it off for Cleveland here in inning number 5. And when Rick and I left the hotel today, Juan Uribe was taking a page out of Frenchie Fuqua's book with some fancy footwear. Oh, and he just hammers one at deep left field and puts the Indians right back on top, 3-2. The man with the gold shoes goes deep for the Indians. His 7th home run of the year, and it's a 3-2 Indians advantage.
Well, he got it looked like the slider to me that he was able to get out in front of, or a curveball, and he was trying to get ahead of him. You know, let's throw the curveball. Boy, he paid for it right there. He left it up, and Uribe did not miss it.
What's sweeter, those gold shoes he was rocking, or that swing right there?
That swing right there. You can have those gold shoes he was rocking. I'll take that swing every day.
I wish you could wear those on the field. Those, you'd see them from a mile away, that's for sure.
They're right up your alley, baby. I'd like to see you in them.
Oh, not a chance.
13th home run given up by Verlander, and back again come the Indians. They will not let Detroit relax.
And Tyler Naquin, he booms one to deep right. Aviles is out of room. It's out of here. Back-to-back jacks in the 5th for Cleveland. Number 6 for Naquin.
Well, and both off-speed pitches were hit. That was a changeup by Verlander. And Naquin, boy, hit it deep. So in a matter of a couple of pitches, the Indians now have a 2-run lead with their back-to-back home runs, and there it was, changeup up out over the plate. Naquin put a good swing on it. Their 5th hit. Boy, that didn't take long at all.
Top of the order, Carlos Santana. He looks at the ball up high. So the Indians get in on the home run derby. 4 solo homers hit in the ball game. 2 for Detroit, now 2 for Cleveland. And Santana sends us high fly ball to center field, where Maben makes the catch, 1 down.
And there's Tyler Naquin on the changeup. He wasn't fooled at all. Boy, and he didn't miss it. And Verlander having a little meeting with himself right there.
You can read his lips. What am I doing?
Yeah, makes a difference. He got him. He powered him the first time up at the fastball upstairs. He never got to it. Yes, he did.
Strike 1 on Michael Martinez, who walked and scored in the 4th for Cleveland. It's fouled back. 0-2. Right back.
Good
Got him
pitch.
looking.
Came back with the breaking ball from the outside part of the plate coming in. Gets his 5th strikeout.
Baseball superstars come together for the primetime event that will light up the summer. The All-Star Game from Petco Park in San Diego, Tuesday, July 12th, only on Fox. Francisco Lindor. Will he be in San Diego for the All-Star Game?
Boy, I don't see why not. How can't he be?
I don't see how not.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Although, I don't know how they compose the roster, but you can take a lot of shortstops.
Yes, you can in this league.
There's probably going to be somebody who doesn't go that will be wondering how they got left off.
Well, if you're Clevelanders, make sure you get your 35 votes in it.
Yeah.
Get this guy to San Diego because he certainly belongs there.
I would imagine that Ned Yost will be looking at some of these Indians pitchers too to fill out his all-star roster. Now the 1-2. And a smash up the gut. Lindor is 2 for 3, his 4th hit in the series.
Yeah, that base hit, his last at-bat helped set up the inning. He gets a 2-out, another breaking ball. Every hit in the inning has been an off-speed pitch by Verlander. A changeup by Naquin hit out of the ballpark, the curveball by Uribe, and that was one right there to Lindor, the curveball.
Mike Napoli walked his last time up. Lindor has a dozen steals on the year. He's only been caught 3 times. Nobody throws over to first more than Justin Verlander in baseball.
True.
But you can run on him.
Yeah. Well, that's what he does. He keeps throwing back, and he uses that quick move to keep throwing back so you don't get a lead. That's one of the few times that he throws over once he comes set. But right now, you're not going to, I don't think, take off. If you're Lindor, no count on Napoli. Give him a chance. Like
Napoli drives it to deep left. Long gone. Home run number 16 for Nap.
What is it with, in this series, they had 3 triples in an inning. Now they have 3 homers in an inning. And this is a 2-run job, and I think it came on a slider. His fastball is yet to be used.
A pair of solo shots, now a 2-run jack. It's a 4-run 5th for the Tribe.
Boy, I want to check the velocity on that pitch because that was a changeup then too.
Was it?
Yeah, that wasn't a slider. That was a changeup. So 2 changeups and 2 breaking balls have been hit in the inning, and these Indians they're tearing it up right now.
They are in attack mode against Justin Verlander.
He doesn't know what to do.
Lonnie Chisenhall will be the 8th man to bat in the inning. It's been a tale of each time through the order has been a different story. First time through, 1 for 9. He struck out a pair. Second time through the order, they scored 4 runs. They had 4 hits, couple of walks. Now you're halfway through the lineup, 3rd time around. I don't know what that bit. A slider that didn't slide.
Okay, because it was at 87, and that's about where his changeup is. But then if that was a slider, that thing didn't break.
Yeah.
And you know, he was. I'll tell you what, he had a good fastball early in this game. But all the hits in this inning off-speed pitches. So they're just trying to give him a breather. The Indians with 4 hits in the inning, 8 hits on the game, and drop another big 4-run inning. And Knapp put a capper on it to tie Santana with the team lead in home runs. And look at it. You talk about upset. You talk about he can't believe just what's happened.
(6-2) Cleveland. It has happened in a hurry, and it has happened with power in this 5th inning. Lonnie Chisenhall drove in a run with a base hit in the 4th, and then ran himself into an out.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, looking back on that, I think he either lost track of Napoli, or when he was watching the ball, he just assumed that he scored.
Right. He never even looked at what was up. He was just watching the ball, not who was in front of him.
Upstairs, 2-1. But Lonnie's got 2 hits on the day. He's 2 for 2. And
you see, as the third base coach in that situation, when you're Mike Sarbaugh, you know, you got to wait till that ball gets out. He was going to hold Napoli up, but he couldn't restart again. So, all right, hold on. That's where you have to be your own coach when you're on the bases and watch who's ahead of you. Oh,
Lonnie lifts off deep right. Avila's back, and it is gone. A home run. Another home run. The 4th of the inning for Cleveland. Another 2-run shot. A 6-run 5th. And I mean to tell you, Verlander is stunned.
Wow. This is home run derby in this inning. 4 dingers in the 5th. You got to be kidding me. And everyone's been a part of it. Change up again. Boy, oh boy, it's almost like they know what's coming. Aviles went back thinking he was going to catch it. No siree. It got over his glove, ricocheted out. We haven't seen anything like this all year long. He can go out and challenge it. That ball got over his glove and hit the railing behind.
Mike looked up into the crowd. He was complaining to the fan.
It was not fan
but that
interference.
fan was not over the yellow line.
No, that was not. He's going to have him maybe take a look at it without using his challenge. But that was not fan interference. That ball went over Aviles' glove and hit and came back. I don't think the fan had anything to do with it.
The guy had his hat over the railing, but he's not below the yellow line.
All right, he goes up. Let's see.
See where the fan is? He's up well above the yellow line, so that's not fan interference.
Well, it doesn't look like he's reaching out over the fence either. Well,
I'll tell you what, give Mike Aviles some credit because he got up in the air. His glove is well above the wall.
Yeah, he made a nice, the timing and everything perfect on it. I don't think that that
man,
guy.
I tell you what, he was really close to robbing that ball. I didn't realize we just saw a different angle. That ball just cleared the webbing of his glove. He almost robbed that thing. That's a great effort by Aviles. But I didn't see anything that would indicate fan interference unless there's a different angle that would tell us a different story.
If the fan was hanging out over the
Watch
fence,
how
I could
close
see
he is,
it.
Arch.
But
Watch how close.
I know.
You know what? He did. The fan did touch that ball with his cap. But I don't know, did that.
Home run.
Yeah.
It's not like he was reaching out over. Now what's he going to?
Now he's going to change pitchers.
Oh, yeah, he is. Verlander's done.
A 6-run inning will do that to you. Justin Verlander absolutely tattooed by the tribe here in this 5th inning. I can't imagine he's ever given up 4 home runs in an inning in his career.
You wouldn't think so.
So this may be a first for Verlander as he is knocked out in the 5th with the Indians up 8-2. The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen for Bruce Rondon. Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Well, like we always say, the great thing about baseball is once you sit down to do a game, you never know. You might see something you've never seen before. And that is what has happened once again here today, in which Justin Verlander, for the first time in his fantastic career, gives up 4 home runs in 1 inning.
And the Indians, I think the last time they did it, a pitcher hit one. Tito Francona hit one back in Cleveland.
That's when they hit 4 in a row in 1963.
Oh, that was in a row. Okay.
They hit 4 in an inning in that wipeout game in Seattle when Victor hit 3 home runs in that game. Remember that back in 04? That's the last. It's only happened 3 times now.
Okay.
4 home runs in 1 inning.
Okay, that was 4 consecutive.
Yeah, that was
Ramos,
Woody Hill, Pedro Ramos, Tito,
right,
and Larry Brown. Yeah.
Very good.
Yan Gomes, he crushes that ball. If it's fair, it's gone. It is a foul ball. Whoa. Now Rondon's a guy with a terrific fastball, but Gomes turned it around in a hurry. The 9th man to bat in the inning. And he sucks one down the left field line. That is a foul ball. So 2 in a row for Gomes. 1 almost left the yard. That one would have been a double. And now he's walking back to home plate looking into the dugout saying, what do I have to do here?
Well, there's a breaking ball slider that got the inning going. Then Naquin comes back up back-to-back on a changeup. And then Napoli with a man on. He drilled one. And Chisenhall adds to it. 4 in the inning. This has been a weird series, man. You have 3 triples in an inning, 4 in the game. They had 4 homers yesterday, and they finally get out of the inning.
Wow. What a supercharged offensive output for the Indians here in the Motor City. Now Justin Verlander, so many times in his career, this has been the end result when he faces the Indians. They just abused him again.
Well, like he's never been abused before. That's the thing of it.
He is 0-2 with a .675 against the Indians this year. That has a chance to take a big hit. He hasn't beaten the Indians since April of 2014. Now Josh Tomlin with a 6-run lead. He went from pitching a nail biter to he's got a huge advantage. Iglesias slowly chopped to third. Uribe pulled him off, but Santana applies the tag. Let's go down to Andre.
All right, this goes out to Redbird. He had to put this together for me, but he did it great. You know, yeah, we talk about the Indians getting behind, and they're 11-23 on the season.
Yep.
When Josh Tomlin is on the mound, the Indians are 7-1 in games where they've fallen behind with him on the mound. Now, that doesn't include the KC game where he left with the lead and it was given up late. But they're 7-1 when they get down and Tomlin's on the mound. Tells you a lot about the season that Josh Tomlin has had and what he's been for the Indians so far this year.
Boy, I'm telling you, they rally. They score when he's on the mound, and they score when Salazar is on the mound.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. This is now the 7th time in his 14 starts they've scored 7 or more for Tomlin. Wow. Now, that's not when he's in the game necessarily.
Right.
I'm talking about the final score. I just went by final scores.
Yeah, coming back late or get him off the hook or something like that. But, I mean, even when he pitches good games, they do it late. That's why he's had 3 no decisions in his last 3 starts.
Naquin makes the catch.
But you know what? We've said all along with Tomlin, he doesn't change his disposition. He comes out, he's the same. He gets the lead, he usually goes out there, boom, 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 get you right back in. Well, he went out and they gave him the lead. They came right back and tied it. And then they came back and make sure they're not going to tie it again, at least when he's in there. And he doesn't change. He goes out there, let my defense work. Doesn't walk anybody 7 times this year, no walks. He has 1 walk in the month of June. This guy has walks per month like guys have in a game. You know, he goes through April, 2 walks, goes through May, 4 walks, goes through June, 1 walk. Guys have that in starts.
David with a soft liner to right. And the Tigers have a 2-out base runner for Miguel Cabrera. Well, we're swinging into summer tomorrow night in Georgia against the Atlanta Braves. Alan Jensen start our telecast of Indians live at 6:30. First pitch at 7 on Sports Time Ohio. Stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Swing into summer presented by Miller Lite.
You got that accent ready to go, boy? I know you spent a year down there working when you were a young man.
I spent a summer there. It felt like a year. Hot Atlanta. In there for a strike. You know, one of the toughest jobs to have in Atlanta is the one I had where you're delivering, because there must be 50 different streets that have the word peach in it.
Yeah.
There's Peachtree Street, Peachtree Drive, Peachtree Circle,
Lane.
There's a high pop. Tomlin's going to quickly cruise through the 5th. And we move on to inning number 6 with the Indians firmly in command, 8-2.
Rewards TV code is Bauer. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Juan Uribe will lead off the 6th. He led off the 5th with a home run, and the Indians never looked back.
Well, they just followed suit.
I'm telling you, it was the gold shoes. That's the spark plug today.
We got to get a picture of those today, or at some point in time where we can show you. Andre would look good in those with his batting helmet on.
Gold shoes and the batting helmet.
Yeah.
The strange thing is that was Uribe's helmet that I had on.
I had a feeling it was, and now you can get some of that bubble gum they throw at you, put it in your mouth, and go hit.
Yeah, no, I'm staying over here. I got some ice cream right now. I'm good.
The 0-2. Here's why Andre had to put the helmet on.
Oh,
bang!
Clank. Hey, that could poke somebody's eye out or break your neck.
It's all fun and games till somebody gets an eye poked out. High pop, right field. Aviles on the move. 1-0. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It has been Home Run Derby here this afternoon. Tigers hit a couple of solo homers, but the Indians blew it open in the 5th. Uribe with a solo shot, Naquin with a solo shot back-to-back. And then with 2 outs and a man aboard, Napoli a 2-run homer. 2 batters later, Chisenhall with a 2-run shot. A 6-run inning, and they lead it 8-2 as Tyler Naquin takes a strike. Bruce Rondon, a Venezuelan product. They list him at 6'3", 275 pounds. He's a big dude.
Well, with his arm, should have been here a long time ago. It's his attitude and his development that is the reason what has kept him out of the big leagues.
Immaturity is something that you never know when a guy's going to get it. Castellanos might have a play here. He does.
That's a good play too. Not an easy thing to do, running towards the seats over there. And he will retire Naquin. You know what? This is your home park. You know how much area you have to cover. But boy, you've got to put your head down almost like an outfielder. Pick up the seats, and he got over there in plenty enough time. That is the key. Getting to that spot you have to get before you let it go. So he made a nice play. And now he has to jog into short right field with Santana hitting because he's going to play in shallow right or be the rover for him.
Yeah, Rondon was sent home from the club last year in September, and then he went to winter ball, and he didn't exactly
endear himself to anybody.
Yeah, he got in a big brawl.
Right.
And he basically was the instigator of it in a winter league game in Venezuela.
Yeah, I remember seeing the highlights to that.
But I mean, when you've been clocked at over 100 miles an hour, you're going to continue to get opportunities.
Well, when you're blessed to have the talent like that, don't let an attitude mess it up. You should be doing everything you can to get to the big leagues. I mean, you're blessed to have an arm where you can throw the ball that hard. That's something you can't teach. You have it. but it happens a lot in sports.
Santana fooled by the pitch, and the Indians go 1-2-3. Middle of the sixth, it's 8-2 Cleveland. Place where the Indians have made themselves right at home
Yeah.
this year.
Isn't that the truth?
Indians trying to run their record to 9-0 against Detroit this year. Not to mention this would be their 9th straight win overall and get to 14 games over 500. But still work to be done. 12 outs need to be recorded first. Victor Martinez homered his last time up.
Yeah, he got a fastball sort of down and in. He just missed in his first at bat. Popped it up to Chisenhall right.
Got a little bit of a breeze blowing in at the moment. That has to help because it has been a very humid day. Long fly ball deep left. That is off the fence, I think, and gone.
It hit the top of the fence.
And Victor Martinez with his second home run of the afternoon.
It hit the top of the fence and bounced over. As Martinez was going after that ball, he was thinking of jumping it on the angle. I don't know if he had room to jump, to be honest with you, until we see it again. But this ball was slicing away from him in left field, and it catches the top of the fence and bounced over. So that's his 9th career multi-hit game. Check out the replay on this one. He gets there, he takes a peek, he goes to jump up, and he was looking for the wall, and it hit the top of the fence, and then it had that carry. It gets over the fence. So another home run, another solo home run for the Tigers.
Ninth time that Victor's had a multi-homer ball game. All 3 homers for Detroit, solo shots. Belt high strike. 0-2. That's something, though, Rick, when I think about it, we haven't seen a lot from Victor in this series, and that's opposite field power. You know, he may flare one over there every once in a while, but most of his swings have been pulled, and that's strike 3 on the appeal. Castellanos is the 3rd strikeout victim of Josh Tomlin today. 1 down in the inning.
Well, he didn't think he went around, but he gets the curveball down in the dirt, and you can see the hands way out in front of home plate. And Tomlin will get his 3rd strikeout in the 1st out here in the 6th. You know, Victor's such a good hitter. He hits line drives that way, but he caught that ball enough where it was a breaking ball. He got underneath it and had topspin carry because when it hit the fence, it just kept going that way.
Upton pulls it to 3rd. Uribe from just near the bag, able to throw him out. 2 down. Well, we mentioned before the Indians will head to Atlanta to open a 3-game series tomorrow against the Braves, and the Indians juggle the rotation a bit. Let's get on to Andre.
Yes, the rotation will be juggled, as you said. Corey Kluber will not pitch tomorrow as his normal rotation spot will be bumped back a day. That means Trevor Bauer will pitch tomorrow. Kluber's going to pitch, but basically with 6 days rest or 7 days with the extra day that we had with the off day on Thursday. Nothing is wrong with him, but with that complete game that he had last time out, Terry Francona and Mickey Callaway just want to give him an extra day because he threw some extra pitches. A little bit like what they did with Danny Salazar, just not as long. They're just taking care of their guys whenever they get a chance to.
Why not, man? They went through a stretch before we got home for 20 straight games. Then we had an off day, went through the homestand undefeated. The starters, they pitched a lot. Had the off day before coming to this. Give them an extra day or so if you can.
Right field, Lonnie Chisenhall makes the grab, hitting over. Another solo homer for Detroit. But it's 8-3 Indians as we go to the 7th. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by the Injury Lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by Subway, fresh is what we do. Well, it's been a great weekend here in Detroit weather-wise. There are some thunderstorms predicted for later this evening here in the Motor City. Justin Wilson, the new pitcher, coming on for the Tigers to pitch this 7th inning.
We saw the right-hander Alex Wilson yesterday. This is the left-hander Justin Wilson making his 33rd appearance. Coming on to face Martinez, Lindor, and Napoli.
And it's outside, ball 1. Smash to short. Iglesias is there, throws him out, 1 away. Improve your game and tune into the Golf Zone. Our PGA pro Jimmy Hanlon has tips for your game and talks about this weekend's tournament action Inside the Golf Zone with Jimmy Halen, presented by American Eagle Mortgage and Varmint Guard, tonight at 8 on Fox Sports Ohio. Francisco Lindor, 2 for 3 today with 2 runs scored. Missed inside.
He can't believe he got out of the way. I think he expected to get hit with that pitch. He jumped back and
Three balls and a strike. And now full count. White Sox lead the Blue Jays 2-0 in the 4th inning in Chicago. Justin Wilson with a payoff pitch now to Lindor. He chops it foul. Minnesota beating up the Yankees 6-1 in the 8th. Baltimore leads Tampa 6-5. They're in the bottom of the 5th. Lindor down on strikes as he cut through it, and there are 2 away. Royals and Astros are scoreless. They're in the 4th inning in Kansas City. If you haven't picked up a paper or checked the internet, the Indians started the day 5 games up on KC in the division.
Well, this is a day that Kansas City needed. Giving up 13 runs in back-to-back games to Houston.
Mike Napoli, a 2-run homer in that 5th inning when the Indians went crazy, scoring 6 times against Justin Verlander. They had 2 solo shots and 2 2-run homers in the 5th inning alone. Upstairs. And that ball to the backstop. The 2-2 offering. And
tied him up.
Couldn't get the hands to the ball. Strikes out. Indians go in order. Stretch time in Detroit. 8-3 Cleveland. by Miller Lite. Indians doing something today that had only happened twice in franchise history beforehand. 4 home runs in 1 inning.
2 righties, 2 lefties.
Last time it happened was in 04 against Seattle at Safeco Field. Time before that was in 1963 in a game against the Angels, and those were 4 consecutive home runs in an inning. And then here today. I like today's inning better, though. I mean, 4 in a row is great, but by spacing it out, they've managed 6 runs instead of just 4.
Yeah, exactly. You get your 6 runs. This has been a weird series. The triples, 4 triples in a game, 3 triples in an inning.
Well, and it's been a series that, look, frankly, the Tigers were pointing to this series. They had just swept the Mariners.
Yeah.
They were hot. They'd won 4 in a row. They said, hey, we've got to get these guys. We haven't beaten them yet this year. I think they were looking at this being a turning point for them, and instead the Indians have just come in here and throttled them.
Tried to use it for motivation, and the Indians said, no, not today. But you know what they did? They responded. You know, the Tigers had their very first lead in 9 games today at 1-0. They came right back and took the lead from them. Verlander gave up 2. They came back to tie it, and then the Indians delivered the knockout punch.
Yep.
You know, they just have a totally different attitude when they're playing this team right now. It's like, we're not going to let you win anything.
We've been taking this beating for so long.
Yeah.
Line drive to left. Michael Martinez makes the catch, 1 down.
And Josh Tomlin, the beneficiary of the big innings. And, you know, he does it every time. He moves it in and out. He changes speeds. When you make a couple of mistakes, they may get you. He's given up 18 home runs on the year. 12 of them have been solo, but he keeps it off the barrel of the bat for the most part. Good curveball, works it in, works it out. He's into the 7th inning again.
And because he doesn't walk guys, he doesn't give you that chance for the big inning.
Well, and plus he keeps his pitch count down. You know, when you look at Josh, I used to say, okay, you got to keep an eye on him when he gets around 75, 80 pitches, you know, during the game. But when they can score, he's very consistent. Look at a 15, a 9, 13. The 22 was the one he worked on, a 10, 10, and right now the 6.
And I think, too, Rick, now that he's healthy and strong again, that old pitch count mark is kind of gone.
I would agree with you. Well, he proves, man. Tito, they have confidence in this guy.
Foul left side.
Tomlin is one of the true starters that takes him off everybody else in that rotation that has the power arm. He can pitch inside. He can pitch inside better than any of the other guys we have on that staff. And he has the lowest velocity. But he's so effective when he does it. He cuts it in there. Smart to let it go.
Another weak ground ball. 2 down.
It's a great compliment for the staff. A guy that
without
pitches.
a doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you have the other guys, and Bauer's another guy that has a nice power curveball. These guys complement each other when they're out there.
You know, good pitching is all about disrupting the timing of the hitter. And that's what Josh, I think, does a very good job of. That and moving it off that barrel, getting those balls just mishit.
He's one of those guys you walk back and you say, man, I can't believe it. He's a comfortable 0 for 4. You see the ball, you think you're going to get a pitch to hit, and the next thing you know, you look up at the end of the day, how'd you do today? 0 for 4.
Well, Kinsler's the perfect example of that. He lined the ball to right for an out. He lined the ball to second for an out, hit a ball to center field. So he's 0 for 3. He's probably seeing it real well, thinking he's going to get hits. But at the end of the day, he's going back to the bat rack every time, scratching his head.
Yeah, and he came into this ball game 8 for 20.
Yeah,
off Tomlin. You know, he was sitting at 400.
Right field. Monty Chisnall makes the grab, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. We go to the 8-8-3 Indians. presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Here in Detroit, the Tigers are going back to their bullpen. Shane Green, after Justin Wilson worked the scoreless inning.
You see, he has made 3 starts here. One of them came against the Indians in this ballpark. And you remember he had to leave the game because he had that blister on the hand and it was bleeding. And they had to take him out.
Yeah.
That was one of his 3 starts. He was like a sinker baller, ground baller with the breaking ball, but he had to leave. There was blood on the baseball and everything I remember showing.
Well, there was blood in the water today in the 5th inning. And the Indians,
Shark Week.
They pounced. They did not let Justin Verlander off the hook. You talked about it being a knockout punch. It looked like one of those old-fashioned heavyweight championship bouts where they got him in the corner and they weren't going to let him off the ropes. They just pummeled him right into the submission.
I mean, when you looked at the look on Verlander's face, I think he was upset. He did throw a fastball to a couple of hitters in that inning, and they took advantage of it.
Well, we read his lips after the Naquin home run. It was on a changeup, and you could see him say, "What am I doing?" David makes the grab. All right, let's go to the 4th inning. Remember what I said about Jose Ramirez in this at-bat?
Yes, I do.
It might not be he that benefits, but somebody soon thereafter.
Yes, and you know what? After that 9-pitch at bat where he fouled off a lot of pitches, and Verlander was feeling pretty good about himself at the time, and he ended up, you know, retiring him. But even though he hit the ball on the nose to right field, look at, he's a little disappointed. Everybody came over to him and gave him a pat on the back. But after that point, that was it for Justin Verlander, really.
Yeah, he gave up a hit to Lonnie Chisnall, the very next batter, and the Indians took the lead. Struck out Gomes to end the inning, and then watched the Indians just take him apart in the 5th.
Turned it into home run derby in that inning. And the amazing thing of that inning, and we talked about it at the outset,
Lonnie with a drive to deep right field. Aviles on the run, can't make the play.
Got a triple.
And Lonnie's going to go all the way to 3rd standing.
Yes, he can. Boy, he has 4 hits today and is a double away from the cycle. He has 2 singles, a homer, and now a triple.
That's his 2nd triple of the series.
Yes, it is, and his 4th of the year. I thought Aviles was going to catch up to that ball, but on his dead run, he wasn't deep enough. That ball looked like it went over his glove.
I'll tell you what, Arch, for a guy who's not an outfielder by trade, I mean, Mike's a fantastic utility man.
Right.
They have run him ragged today in right field. He's been all over the place.
Those are days you don't want to play the outfield when you got to do that much running. Put your sneakers on, boys. You're going to get, it's a track meet.
Tigers bring the infield in with Yan Gomes at the plate. He's had a rough day. 0 for 3, has struck out 3 times, but a chance to drive in a run here.
I've got 17 extra base hits in this series for the Indians.
Well,
they have had a boatload of extra base hits.
Got 5 today, right?
I have 6 today. No, I'm sorry. That's yes. I have 5 today.
Okay.
I had 6 yesterday, and I had 6 the first game. Okay, Mike.
I got 16.
Okay, 16. I added an extra one because they were hitting so many of them.
This has been, well, and you know what's been, I think, for me, what's most impressive about the Indians in this series is that the offense, they've done it at home this year. Now they're taking it on the road against a bitter rival. that was quote unquote waiting for him.
Well, you look at the way they're playing in this division, and you can't ask for anything any more than what they've done this year. They're 23-10 going into this game, looking to go 24-10. They need 6 outs. At home, they're putting it together. They're above 500 on the road. And they're just starting. I'll tell you what, they're getting a lot of confidence. They're developing, or have developed, a personality and a nice at-bat by Gomes.
Jan picks up his 30th run batted in on the year as he drives home Lonnie Chisenhall to make it 9-3.
Yeah, he went down, and you know, he had a tough day going, but there it is, a breaking ball down with the infield in. He says, I just want to put it in play. I want to join this party here today, boys. He does. He gets an RBI single. That's 11 hits now for the Tribe. That's 9 runs for him. And again, we talk about numbers, but when they have 10 or more hits this year, they're 24-5, looking for their 25th win.
Juan Uribe with a bouncer to short, and the Tigers turn 2 to end the inning. Middle of the 8th, Indians 9, Tigers 3. Lead. And here in the bottom of the 8th, Josh Tomlin will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Detroit. Cameron Maben, Miguel Cabrera, and Victor Martinez. Tomlin just sitting at 90 pitches on the afternoon. There for a strike. Down low. Bounce to third, Juan Uribe. Throws him out. One down for Miguel Cabrera.
That hit for Cabrera back in the first inning, picked on a breaking ball, hit to left field.
It's 2-1. The Indians have held Miguel Cabrera to just 2 hits in the series and 1 RBI on a scorer's decision that came well after the game had already ended. Ground ball to third.
Boy, another time to third base. 6 in the series. Can't say enough how well they have pitched Cabrera this year. And even Martinez, even though Victor has a couple of solo home runs today.
Rick, that's 16 assists for Indians' third baseman in the series.
They've been busy, haven't they?
I mean, that's
well, we saw 6 straight yesterday for Ramirez.
Yeah. Uribe, he's been busy as well.
You know, yeah, when you think about that, predominantly a right-handed hitting ball club. And how do they do it? They pull the ball. I mean, you got to pull it to third base. So that's telling you the Indians are pitching them in, and they're forcing them to really use their hands. They're not getting those base hits to right center where they normally wear it out. As we mentioned, when you watch them take a batting practice.
Tomlin just about 70% strikes here today.
Seems like almost the norm for him.
Where was Carrasco yesterday? Was he 60 or was he closer to 70?
I think Carrasco was high 60s.
Yeah. Out of play to the left.
Almost 70, I think.
Now Carrasco was just brilliant yesterday. And while Danny Salazar wasn't brilliant, I mean, we've obviously seen it better. He was good enough Friday night. Only went 5 2/3, but he didn't give in. It wasn't one of those, well, he doesn't have it tonight, and he just gave in, and all of a sudden, you know, you can't win the game. He kept his team in the game.
Yes, he did.
Into the 6th inning. Some nights when you don't have it, as our pal Lenny Barker used to say, look, you're going to go out there on certain nights and you just don't have it. You've got to find a way to compete. Whether it's making an adjustment or...
Well, sometimes you got to go out there and work without your good stuff. You know, you don't have your one pitch you'd like to use where you get a lot of outs with, and you have to work around the hitters, and that's where you and the catcher, you navigate your way through a ball game as deep as you can go.
Victor with a weak ground ball to who else? Juan Uribe. The 17th assist for an Indians third baseman in the series. Uribe gets the hat trick here in the 8th. 9-3 Indians. Al, what's going on? Did the cat have Jensen's tongue? What's going on there? Oh. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
That makes a little more sense then. Well, Kyle Ryan's coming on now. That's the 5th different Tiger to pitch today. The lefty will face Tyler Naquin, and Carlos Santana and Michael Martinez. And Naquin takes the ball inside. He is 1 for 3 today, 3 hits in the series. Doubled and tripled yesterday, homered today. Back out of play. Nine runs on 11 hits for the Indians. 3 runs on just 6 hits for Detroit. To third base, Castellanos takes care of that one away. Pat O'Brien, plays of the game. The big swings in the 4th, or rather the 5th. It was Uribe and then Naquin. And with a man aboard, Napoli. With a man aboard, Chisenhall. That all came in a span of 8 hitters.
Yeah, unbelievable. They sent 9 to the plate that inning. 6 runs. They now have 94 home runs as a team.
Well, and Lonnie Chisenhall, too, Rick, is started to maybe solidify that right field position. He had 4 hits today. He's got his batting average up there at 290 now. He missed a lot of time. And
everybody's starting to feel good about themselves offensively. This whole lineup, though, and it's no one guy. It takes all 9 guys. They all want to pitch in because that's exactly what it takes.
Raj hasn't even played today.
You know, on a day, think
Just
about
chilling.
it. You know, Raj hasn't, Kip hasn't. On a day, they're going to give him a day off too. That's the great thing about it. That you don't have to give this guy a day here or a breather here. They're ready to go the next day.
That's out of play. Foul back. To third base, scooped up by Castellanos. And Santana retired, 2 away. So 2 gone for Michael Martinez. 0 for 3 on the day, walked in, scored a run in that 4th inning. And let's go back to that at bat. You know, up to that point, the Indians were 1 for 10 against Verlander, and he led off the inning with a walk.
Yes.
And he's an aggressive guy, likes to swing. So That was a good at bat for him.
Well, a guy that doesn't get to play all the time, man. He goes in a lot of times just to fill in defensively, you know, wherever it may be. So you get a chance to start. You're starting against Verlander, you know, a guy that, you know, if you don't get a lot of at bats, it's not easy to hit.
And now Michael's got himself a base hit as he punches it through the right side.
That's good. He's played all game long. He wants a hit in that hit column and gets the 12th hit and his first of the afternoon. That gives Lindor another opportunity to try for a 3-hit game.
8 of the 9 starters with at least 1 hit today. Inside, ball 1. Lindor swings and fouls it off into the glove of Saltalamacchia. Mentioned before, we're going to Atlanta. How about the Bravos? 2-0 over the Mets in the 8th inning.
They had a 1-0 game yesterday that went extra innings that the Mets won.
That was Julio Teheran that pitched, right?
Yes.
I wonder who's going today for Atlanta. It's
Bud Norris.
Bud Norris.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good job. Shut out into the 8th. You know, sometimes those are the teams that you maybe worry more about than the good teams, because they're laying in the weeds. And if you go down there and think all you have to do is throw your glove out there,
you do not. You can't take them lightly.
No.
You can't take anybody in the big leagues lightly.
Slow chopper
It's
to
gonna be a
third.
tough play.
Bare hand grab by Castellanos, but Lindor beats it out for his 3rd hit of the game.
You know, Castellanos made a nice play to barehand that ball to throw it to first, but not before Lindor could beat out that infield single. You watch him go down the line. The only way he could do it is barehanded. He does. By the time he throws it, Lindor beats it out. His 14th 3-hit game of the year.
It's probably just normal soreness, but watching Castellanos walk back to his position at third, he was really flexing that right arm. When you've got to come in all in one motion and just buggy whip that ball across your body, it's got to hurt a little bit once in a while. Napoli yanks one left field near the line. That is a foul ball.
Well, the ball boy had him played beautifully, sitting right there at the line. He went over his charts before the game started. Didn't have to move. Had him played beautifully.
Down and in. And now Napoli down the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down in the 9th, and the Indians leading it 9-3. A warm, humid day in the D. Temperature now closing in on 90 degrees. It's up to 88. With the humidity, feels like mid-90s. 1-2 pitch. Strikes about to end the inning. And the Indians are now 3 outs away from completing their 3rd sweep of the Tigers this year. They got in the fast lane and ran him over. And for Josh Tomlin, another very Josh Tomlin-like performance.
Yes,
he did give
it
up
was.
3 solo home runs, but he was never really in any trouble. And once they gave him the lead, it was cruise control city.
Well, yes. Well, they came out big and strong with a 6-run inning in the 5th, so that knocks just about anybody out of play. Zach McAllister coming on for the first time since June 15th is the last time he's appeared in a ball game. That's how good the starters have been. He'll be appearing for the 27th time. 2-2 record, 3.47 ERA.
Castellanos swings and sends a fly ball to center field. 1 away as Tyler Naquin squeezes it. We'll greet you tomorrow night from Atlanta, Turner Field, home of the Braves.
It's been a while since we've been down there, hasn't it? Been quite a while.
This isn't the last year for that ballpark, is it? When's the new
No,
one?
2013 we're there. It seems like we were. Yeah, okay, we were. I think 17.
I think they might be okay, because I saw Hank Aaron pulling down a number the other day, and I don't know if that meant the countdown for this year or if maybe it is. It was 44. Would that be right? Would they have 44 games left this year at home?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
We're at the halfway mark, or close to it.
We'll have the scoop for you by the time we get there.
Yes.
Justin Upton 0 for 3 on the day. And a weak ground ball to short. Lindor throws him out, 2 down. Yeah, next year it'll be the first year of their new ballpark, so this is it. And it's so weird because you think of Turner Field and it's like, it can't be that old.
It's 20,
it's
a little
not.
over 20 years old, isn't
It's
it?
younger
They
than,
did that in
it's
the
younger than
Olympics.
Progressive Field.
Yeah.
Because you think back to the '95 World Series, that was at old Fulton County Stadium. Saltalamacchia with a swing and a miss. 36,502 turned out today for this series finale. Good crowds all weekend long. At 39,000 yesterday, 37 on Friday night.
They've gone home disappointed every game, too.
Yeah, except for the fans wearing the Chief Wahoos and the red, white, and blue.
And we did see a few of them up here this weekend.
They have enjoyed the weekend festivities.
Yeah, we will have one more weekend trip coming into Detroit here in September.
Now the 0-2 offering. And McAllister lets it fly. It's a little high. And a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out to end the ball game. The Indians come to Detroit and mow down the Motor City Kitties with their third 3-game sweep of the year. They are 9-0 this season against Detroit, and overall the Tribe has now won 9 straight as they go to 44-30 on the year.
Well,
take a look at the season numbers.
I mean, it really is unbelievable for a team in your own division. I mean, they've outscored them 60-20. The pitching has been spectacular for the Indians. It's been roughed up for the Tigers as far as their starters go. Hitting with runners in scoring position over 400. The Tigers can't buy a hit, and it's something that we're not used to seeing.